Hello everyone, welcome to another Let's Play of The Crown and the Flame, Book 3, Chapter 17, the last chapter. My name is Anna Mardal, and according to my walkthrough, there are no wrong choices here, which means I'll probably stress over them more than usually, because when the walkthrough tells me to make a choice, then I just do it. But when the walkthrough doesn't tell me which choice is the right one, then I'm like, oh no. So let's get into this. Kenna and our allies celebrate their victory and look forward to the future. I'm guessing this is going to be a super long chapter where we talk to everyone ever except Rose. The fond farewell. Not that I'm bitter about the Rose situation. Now playing as Kenna. Oh, what do you want to bet we'll switch over to Dalm at some point? It's the day of your royal wedding, and you're running late. Hurrying up the stairs to your room, you burst through the door. There you are. I was starting to think you'd run off. I'm sorry, busy day. Well, never mind that. We've got to get you dressed. Annalise gestures to your bed, where she's laid out a beautiful shimmering gown. The royal dressmakers and I have been working day and night, using only the finest Aurelian lace, of course. You run your hand along the shining fabric. Annalise, it's gorgeous. Only trying to do you justice, my dear. Now let's see how it looks on you. Oh, are you kidding? They're gonna bilk us for diamonds for the final. So the options are your armor, this simple blue dress, which I swear we used in a peasant chapter once, or a victory gown that they're gonna force you to pay 25 diamonds for. Fine. That is just a big middle finger to the player. Slipping behind a screen, you change into the elegant gown and step into view. What do you think? Annalise lets out a small gasp. Oh, Kenna, it's beautiful. I've never seen a ruler who better looked the part. Now run along and come say hello a little later when you're not running late to your own celebration. I will. Thank you, Annalise. Annalise laughs as you hurry out the door and down the hall and to the throne room, where you arrive out of breath. Throughout the hall, your allies mingle cheerfully amidst rows of benches. Cutting it awfully close, aren't you? You know I always like a challenge. Well, it looks like we've still got a few minutes before the ceremony. Go and mingle. Might settle your nerves. I will. Thank you, Jackson. You head into the crowd. Oh, sure enough, there's a lot of people to talk to. So, just in order of political importance, we'll talk to Leah first. You make your way toward a group of nervous-looking Iron Empire guards, surrounding a familiar face. Hi, Kenna. I mean, good morning, Your Majesty. Good morning, Your Radiance. Leah's eyes light up as she takes in your glimmering gown. You look very pretty. Thank you, as do you. Leah blushes. Not far away, Joran grips his spear, eyes flicking suspiciously towards every passing guest. Joran, please relax. The war is over. With all due respect, that does not mean the danger has passed. I look forward to the mending of bridges between our kingdoms, but there are many on both sides who will nurse grudges for years to come. Whether here or in Morosi, the spear will never leave my hands, and I will never leave your side. Leah sighs and turns to Clover. Won't you talk to him? Certainly, Your Radiance. Clover turns to Joran. Joran? Yes. You're doing an excellent job. Leah sighs. Leah, Joran is... Oh, man. He's right. I think he's right. Joran is right. If there's one thing I've learned, it's that even kind rulers have enemies. So be grateful for loyal guardians and treat them kindly. No matter how much they may annoy you, you will miss them when you're gone. Well put! Leah swallows, nodding fiercely. Yes, Your Majesty. Thank you for the advice. I shall take it to heart. You lean in to give Leah a hug. Joram watches you carefully, but gives you a small nod of respect. Take care of yourself, Leah. I think you'll make a fine leader, and I look forward to becoming your friend. I'd like that. Let's go talk to Auron. Near a cluster of purple-clad troops, you find Auron. Hello, Auron. Hello, Queen Kenna. Suddenly, Tevin bursts from a nearby crowd, arms raised wide. There she is, our resplendent bride-to-be. Congratulations on your wedding, my dear. Thank you, Tevin. It's nice to celebrate something without the threat of war hanging over us for once. And I hope for many more such celebrations in the years to come. Speaking of which, have you ever been game hawking? I was just speaking with a falconer who swears he can breed birds with purple feathers, and I was thinking we might. A distant face catches Tevin's eyes in the crowd. He sighs. Alas, duty calls. Duty? You're mingling at a party. We're royalty in peacetime, sweet sister. Mingling at parties is our duty, and I mean to take it seriously. Tevin bows, then sweeps past Auron as he heads toward another group of guests. Oh, Auron, tell Kenna about our gift. A gift? What gift? Simply this, a promise. Auron smooths her dress, choosing her words carefully. Save for our recent brush with Azura, Fidoria has been quite fortunate in this war, all things considered. And we are well aware that this fact is only true because our allies, like Stormhold, have paid for peace in tears and blood. Auron lifts her head, looks you in the eye, and extends her hand. So you have my promise. In years to come, Fidoria will do its utmost to ensure that the alliance of the Five Kingdoms is strong, and the life's work of your mother shall never again be undone. Thank you, Auron. That's a wonderful gift. I will treasure it. Auron beams proudly as you shake her hand, and as you turn to go, Company, halt! A troop of Fidorian soldiers marches confidently towards you, then stop and salute in clockwork synchrony. The Royal Regiment of Fidoria formally offers its congratulations upon the occasion of Her Majesty Queen Kenna's wedding. Company, present arms! The soldiers in the front line draw their swords and point them forward, blades gleaming in the sun. Soldiers in the back line draw their swords and smack the front line in the back of their heads. Oof. Ah! Claudius's boot clanks as he stamps his foot, outraged. No, you blasted fools! Forward and up! Forward and up! How many times must we drill this? He turns to you with a sigh. Forgive me, Your Majesty. You know how these green recruits can be. You laugh, patting Claudius on the shoulder as you stride past. At ease, Commander. Let's go talk to Zenobia. You make your way toward a cluster of Navraki soldiers and find Zenobia, who greets you with a guarded expression. Kenna? Zenobia. So, I guess we should address the dragon in the room. Whatever do you mean? Zenobia, come on. You know what she means. Father. Zenobia sighs. Look, I'll be honest. I'm not all that broken up about it. I loved my father, but I didn't like him. I love her. I get it. There are people you love that you don't like. I get that. Zenobia holds up her hands, palms flat, like a pair of scales, weighing the air as she speaks. He killed your mother and invaded your kingdom. So you conquered his kingdom and took him prisoner. You needed his help and he agreed. Then he betrayed you, so you killed him. She drops her hands with a shrug. As far as I'm concerned, It all balances out. So if you're expecting some kind of blood feud, I'm afraid I'll have to disappoint you, dear. I just don't have the time.
Oh, wow. Zenobia, that's mature of you.
Well, don't sound so surprised. Zenobia picks a hair off her sleeve, smiling. Frankly, I'm just glad this stupid war is over and I can finally get back to ruling. You hear a scoff and turn to find Adder.
Ruling? Over Abanthus? You can't possibly think that's going to happen after everything your family has done. Yes, I agree. Are we going to address that?
And who else is going to run things? You?
Yes, as a matter of fact.
You must be joking.
And why not? The Black Asps have basically been running Lycos for years.
Oh, please. You think the whole country is going to bow to some order of spies? You'll have a revolution inside a month. Zenobia turns to Diavalos. Diavalos, tell her she can't rule our people.
Don't drag me into this.
You don't even care that she's talking about taking away our kingdom?
I didn't say that, but I also can't say I'd mind a vacation after an entire life of war. Besides, she certainly can't do a worse job than father.
Zenobia turns to a random soldier. You! Would you choose the Navraki or the Black Asps? The soldier looks from Zenobia to Adder and back.
Nope.
What?
No, I wouldn't choose either. Hell's with both of you. I'm moving to Panrion.
Well then, it looks like it's up to me. Rule of Abanthus will go to... Oh, jeez.
I did wonder if both wouldn't be the better option. They can cooperate and probably work better. I mean, I like Adder, don't get me wrong, and I don't want her to dislike me, but I think she could rule better from the shadows, supporting Zenobia but also controlling her, or Diavalos, either one. I don't think it should be the Navraki, so it's either the Black Asps and make Adder queen, which I'm not against, she is about to be my sister-in-law, but I'm not really sure that that's the best way to go. Let's say both. Oh man, I'm gonna stress over this one. Let's say both. What?
You can't be serious!
My mother used to say that a successful compromise is one that ends with neither party satisfied.
That's stupid! How are we supposed to share rule?
How about I control the coin, taxes, trade, and affairs of state, and you handle everything else?
Wait, seriously?
Do you have a problem with that?
Are you joking? Everything you listed is boring. The other stuff, parades, tournaments, balls, that would make ruling fun.
I get to lead the army, right? No offense, but the thought of either of these schemers directing troops is a bit terrifying.
Depends. Think you can manage to not invade anyone for a while?
Trust me, I've had more than my fill of invasions.
See, so that worked really well. Adder laughs.
Well, Kenna, I have to say, if we're judging by your mother's standards, then this seems to be a very unsuccessful compromise. It seems so. Let's go see Whitlock first.
You find Whitlock chatting with a crew of workers. The workers take their leave as you approach, and Whitlock turns toward you.
Good morning, Kenna.
Good morning, Whitlock. Were those Stormholt Masons I just saw you chatting with just now?
Yes, and carpenters from Panria. I've been helping them draw up blueprints for the wall repairs before I go.
I suppose you're heading back to the foundry after the ceremony?
Yeah. It's been fun running around like a storybook hero with you. But I'm afraid the technocrats have got a lot of rebuilding to do.
Let me know if there's anything Stormholt can do to assist.
Thanks, but I think we'll manage. We are a city of builders after all.
Nearby, Madeline looks up from a notebook.
Truth be told, we were probably due for a good overhaul anyway. The foundry was starting to show its age. Unlike myself.
You notice Hex sitting not far away, shackled and under close guard. She catches your eyes and shoots you a tentative smile.
I feel like I've forgiven her more than I wanted to.
What will happen to her?
I'm afraid that's not up to me. Hex has a lot of crimes to answer for. She'll stand trial before a technocrat tribunal. That said, you are a queen, not to mention the one who captured Hex. You have grounds to submit a sentencing recommendation. Sei has already offered one on behalf of the fire users. Would you like to offer one on behalf of Stormhold? Oh, man.
I don't know what to do with Hex. I don't know what to do with justice systems, period. I'm not pro-prison. I don't like the death penalty. But at the same time, I do think that, I don't know, if you build weapons of mass destruction and use them to slaughter hundreds of thousands of innocent people who did nothing wrong, maybe you shouldn't just get a slap on the wrist and, like a bad girl, don't do that again, you know. But should she be punished if that punishment doesn't bring anyone back? Should she be locked away if she's not a threat to people anymore? How do you even go about reparative justice in a situation where the cost of human life and human suffering is so high that nothing she can ever do can ever even begin to make... I don't know. I don't know what you do in a situation like that. And honestly, as Kenna, I don't know that she even knows Hex well enough to decide. At least with Whitlock, he has some sense of whether Hex is actually changing. We haven't even seen her since... I'm just gonna say I leave it to him. Oh, although... crap. I would mean that I need more clarity on the choices. I would mean I leave it to you to mean like, well, what do you think, Whitlock? And I'll recommend that. But you could read I'll leave it to you to mean I won't give a recommendation, like a punt, and to say I'll leave it to the tribunal. So... I'm gonna recommend mercy and hate myself for it. Hex has hurt a lot of people, but she also helped save lives during the battle, and I think she has the capacity to do more good with the right guidance. Whitlock smiles, visibly sagging with relief. I think so too. I'm glad you agree. Whitlock holds out his hand. Take care of yourself, leader of the technocrats. You as well, Queen of Stormhold. You solemnly shake Whitlock's hand, then break out grinning and sweep him into a hug. Alright. You're embarrassing me in front of the other rulers. You better get used to it now. I'll be doing it for the rest of your life. And now we get to go talk to Sei, whom I love. Sei stands by the window studying stained glass. Enjoying the new artwork? I'm surprised they were rebuilt while your walls are still a shamble. I will never understand the priority lowlanders place on material things. Like that dress, it's... As Sei's eyes flit over the dress, you can see sparkles reflecting in her eyes. She shakes her head and clears her throat. Ridiculous. You hear a scoff from Anu. Says the girl who used to cry every time her face paint washed off in the bath. Grandfather? You laugh as Sei's cheeks turn red. So, are you sticking around after the ceremony? I will drink and dance tonight, yes. But tomorrow we return to the mountains. Say nods toward Anton. That one is going on some kind of spiritual quest across the 5 kingdoms.
It's called a pub crawl.
Say rolls her eyes. I can't imagine you returning to a peaceful village life after all this. I won't be. I'm returning to lead. It's time our people came down from the mountains and remind the world we still exist. Should I start calling you Queen Say? Absolutely not.
Call her elder, because she is old. I will always call her Little Say Say.
You laugh, drawing Say into a hug. She stiffens for a moment, then sighs and embraces you tightly. I will miss you, Queen of Stormholt. So don't be a stranger. From outside you hear the rising clamor of bells ringing cheerfully atop the castle walls.
Attention, everyone! The ceremony is beginning shortly.
As your friends and allies find their seats, you make your way towards the door where Jackson awaits.
Are you ready for this?
I should say... I'm nervous.
That's perfectly natural, Your Majesty. On the day I got married, I was such a wreck I forgot my own name during the vows.
Is that supposed to make me feel better?
Jackson laughs. Shall we?
As the chatter dies down to a low murmur, Jackson takes your arm and escorts you towards the dais. As you pass, people murmur in awe at your dress.
Looks like Annalise's instinct for fashion was right again.
That's an understatement.
I'm sorry your mother couldn't be here for this. Or Gabriel, or Leon, or...
You pat his hand. They are here, Jackson.
Yes. Yes, I suppose they are. Oh, hells, I promised myself I wouldn't cry.
Jackson lifts his head high and proud to hide the tears in his eyes as you climb the dais and turn to face the assembly. He composes himself and booms out over the audience.
I present the hero of the 5 kingdoms, Her Royal Majesty Queen Kenna Rhys of Stormholt. Long may she reign. And her betrothed.
Jackson gives the signal. The assembly turns in their seats as the doors begin to crack open and a line of light spills across the floor, revealing King Raiden.
King Raiden of Stormholt.
So what, we crowned him before the marriage? That's not usually how it goes, but okay. Low whispers ripple through the crowd as Raiden strides gallantly down the aisle and joins you on the dais.
Hello, my love.
Raiden brushes your cheek, smoothing a lock of hair behind your ear. Will!
Psst! Hey, none of that. You're supposed to wait until after the vows. Alas, I've never been one for tradition.
Jackson clears his throat.
We gather here today to join these 2 souls in sacred covenant and pay witness to their vows. Raiden, your vows?
Raiden takes her hands.
Kenna, the differences between us are a gulf of means and circumstance. You were born royalty, with all the burdens that entails. I was born in an alleyway, serving none but my own empty stomach. You hail from Stormholt, and have fought for years to defend it. I hail from Abanthus, and spent years trying to escape it. You are renowned for your bravery and heroism. I, on the other hand, have been accused of cowardice and treachery by every person in this room. The crowd laughs. But those differences make us stronger. They fill in the gaps and sand down the rough edges. Before I met you,
I was half a man. With you, I am whole. The audience melts with awes and sighs as Jackson turns to you.
And Kenna, your vows.
Raiden, the past few years have been a whirlwind, containing some of the brightest and darkest moments of my life. But you were always there with me, the light at the end of a very long tunnel. You make me feel safe. Like no sling or arrow, no storm or no sword or storm cloud could ever harm me or anyone I love. And I can't wait to share more adventures with you. The war may be over, but I don't intend to sit around a castle all day. And I can't wait to see what trouble we'll get into together. The crowd sighs.
Beautiful, both of you. Now then, is there anyone who objects to this union?
Jackson shoots a glare around the room, hand on his sword, daring anyone to make a sound.
No? Good. Then I pronounce this blessed covenant, sealed with a kiss.
You lift your gaze into the eyes of your beloved. We should kiss. Like no one is watching. Come here. You pull Raiden towards you, bodies and lips pressing passionately together as the room erupts in applause.
I love you.
I love you too. Raising your clasped hands, you turn to face the cheering assembly as the doors open and the celebration begins. Outside the ravaged landscape, outside the ravaged landscape comes to life with drinking, dancing, games, music, parades, and more. The hours fly by, and amidst the celebration you bump into some familiar faces. So, I told you, right, that we would be talking to a lot of people in this chapter. At least I figured we would. Let's start with Annalise. You join Annalise at a long picnic table where she's watching the dancers. Kenna, dear, take a seat. Shall I pour you a glass of wine and toast your victory?
Please, no. I've had so many victory toasts this afternoon, my head is swimming.
You'll have to learn to pace yourself better at parties now that the war is over. Annalise lifts her wine glass, taking a tiny sip, and winks at you. So, I suppose you'll be heading back to Aurelia soon? Annalise sighs wistfully, setting down her glass. Yes, I'm afraid so. We've got quite a lot of work to do.
I still remember the first time I came to the city.
Yes, I seem to recall a desperate traveler claiming to be a queen.
Your cards almost turned me away. Imagine where we would be now if they had.
Annalise shudders. Perish the thought. I think we'll be revisiting our closed gate policy soon, among others.
Oh?
Yes, Aurelia has spent too long drinking and dancing and idling away, hidden from the world. Time to change that, I think. After all, someone's going to have to pay to rebuild the 5 kingdoms. Might as well step up before more desperate travelers come calling.
Speaking of which, I happen to have a castle in need of some minor renovations.
You and Annalise share a laugh, then spend a few minutes enjoying the show and a warm afternoon.
Let's go check in on Val.
I wonder how they choose who you... I like Kailani, don't get me wrong. Oh, and she is the ruler of Panrian now, so it makes sense to talk to her. But it's just, of all of the characters, like, where's Rowan? Can we talk to Rowan? When you find Val, she's collecting her winnings from a game of Flint with 2 Stormholt soldiers.
Ah, hells. I told you this was a dumb idea.
Hey, don't sell yourself short. You almost had me that time. Maybe if you just put down a few more coins and try again. I love Val. And here I thought we'd finally civilized you. Val snorts as you approach. Fat chance of that. You join her at a nearby table where she pours herself a drink. So, I guess you're here to say goodbye, huh? Am I going somewhere? No, but I am. War's over, so it's back to the old mercenary life for old Val. Muddy camps and arm wrestling for ale and all that. I think I have a better idea, if you'd like to hear it. I'm listening. Val, how would you like to become my master at arms? Depends. What does that mean? It means you'd be in charge of training all of Stormholt's guards and soldiers. Who, me? Teaching knights and rich kids a bunch of fancy pants footwork so they can go win fancy pants tournaments? You can teach however you want. Wait, seriously? You'd give me a whole castle armory and servants and whatever, and I could just do whatever I want? Yes. Could I throw away the footwork and teach your knights to fight dirty? Yes, sure. Could I make them muck the stables and tell them it's part of the training? Any fool who would question the methods of the great Master Greaves obviously hasn't seen her fight. Val sits back, grinning. Well, hells, you drive a hard bargain. All right then, I accept. Val lifts her drink in salute and knocks it back with one swig. Master Greaves. I like the sound of that. Okay, let's go talk to Kailani. Kailani and the fighters from Panrion are taking turns throwing hatchets into the wooden beams of a broken catapult. Is it a game? Throwing hatchets into the... Oh, okay, yeah, no, alright, that's alright. Well, if it ain't the lady of the hour. Having fun. Always? Kailani chucks her hatchet into the beam with a solid thunk, then turns to chat. I heard some of your carpenters are staying behind to help with repairs to the walls. I wanted to thank you for that. Least we could do. Besides, Noah's heading back to handle things in Panrion, so I got plenty of time for a little Stormholt vacation. Speaking of Panrion, what's next for you all? Getting richer than a salve seller during jelly season. Come again? Well, now that Azura is gone, there's a whole new world that just opened up for trading. And it just so happens there's an ocean between us. That means ships are gonna be in high demand. And that means Panrion's about to become the busiest shipyard in the world. I see. I don't suppose there's any chance of Stormholt getting a discount. Stormholt? Nah, it wouldn't be fair to the other kingdoms. But for my good friend Kenna, I think we could work something out. Now we're gonna go see Jackson. Jackson is leaning on a broken bit of wall by the gate when you find him. Your Majesty, enjoying the festivities? It's all wonderful, Jackson. And the ceremony was beautiful. Thank you for officiating. Happy to do it. Congratulations to both of you. You stand together and look out over the blasted landscape. You can almost forget there was a battle here just a week ago. And in a few months, you won't be able to tell it all. You think so? I know so. After all, this will be, what, the 6th time we've rebuilt Stormholt? We're getting pretty good at it. That's the spirit. At the sound of her voice, you turn to find Helene climbing over some rubble to join you. Good day, Helene. Your Majesty. How are you and your men settling in? Very well, thank you for asking. And the matter we discussed? Already underway. I sent notice out to the local villagers just this morning, calling on fresh young recruits. It's going to take some doing to re-establish Stormholt's border patrols and tax routes, but I look forward to the work. And I look forward to someone else taking charge of all that, so I can sit on my rear at home for a while. Helene bows and takes her leave. By the way, Jackson, I wanted to say thank you for... Oh, both of them. I'll go with friendship, but both of them. You're a loyal soldier and a brave knight, but you're also more than that. You're a good person, and I treasure the fact that I can call you my friend. Jackson's eyes shine with pride. Thank you, Kenna. That means the world to me. You hear distant shouting and turn to see Leonidas bounding toward you with half a roasted chicken in his mouth. Hey, that's mine! Get your own dinner, you mutt! Leonidas drops the roast chicken at your feet, tail wagging. Hi, Kenna. I like this party. There are so many good smells and foods and happy friends. Can I stay forever? You stoop and scratch his ear. Of course you can, though you might want to get a move on, or Val's going to catch up and take that chicken back. Never! Leonidas snatches the chicken off the ground, shoots between your legs, and scurries across the castle courtyard. If we're supposed to be rebuilding, we've got our work cut out for us, with a wolf running wild inside the castle. After what he did during the battle, he deserves to run wild for a while. We all do. As the day wears on, you duck away from the festivities. There's Rowan! And where do you think you're going? Rowan! I was just stepping away for a few minutes to catch my breath. You wouldn't happen to be avoiding a certain tedious negotiation on taxes and trade routes with a certain ruler of Thorngate? Of course not! Good. Then we can talk over a hunt. Say first thing tomorrow? Gods, you're ruthless. Just wait until the negotiations begin. You make your way across the courtyard when a distinctive whistle catches your ear. 2 short blasts. You hear a rush of wings. And your dress sets on fire right then and there. No, Felix swoops past your head. You follow his flight across the courtyard and up to a familiar figure on a nearby wall. Hey, up here. There you are! You make your way up the stairs and join Dom on the ramparts. Felix perches on the stones, talons clicking as he nuzzles Dom's fingertips. I was wondering where you'd gotten to. I hadn't seen you all day. Well, you have been a little busy. You stand side by side, leaning on the wall and looking out over the lands of Stormholt. I can't believe it's finally over. It doesn't feel real yet. I know what you mean. I keep waiting for the next explosion. Some new bad guy. Oh my gods! Val's been kidnapped! Grab the horses, we're going after her! In the distance, the sun is beginning to set. I wonder if this is what the end of a story feels like. Maybe. But I don't think any story ever really ends. It just changes. Why is this making me cry? I don't know. I guess because I've spent so much time with them that it feels like
Oh no! You think? Well, look at how your story's changed. Princess to exile to conqueror to queen. And yours. Castle servant to saboteur to mythical hero. I wonder what comes next. Actually, I've been meaning to talk to you about that.
Felix coos quietly as Dom scratches his neck. What is it?
Well, I've been thinking about the things that are important to me. The things I can do and the people I can help. Have you talked to Sei? Did she tell you what comes next for the fire tribes?
Yes, she said they're coming down out of the mountains.
Well, I've been thinking about that, and I think it's going to be more complicated than she's imagining.
You're probably right. We'll have to rewrite the maps and add a sixth kingdom.
And a whole new people who can shoot fire from their hands and turn into dragons. There's going to be friction. Lands, food, resources. The tribes are going to need someone to advocate for them.
So you want to become, what? Some kind of ambassador?
That's the word I've been trying to think of all week. Yes, an ambassador.
Sounds like you'll be traveling away from Stormholt a lot.
Yeah, but never for long. Stormholt will always be my home. And that reminds me of another thing. Kenna, how much do you know about the spirit world?
Based on what you've told me, it sounds beautiful.
Dom smiles broadly. Yeah, it's something else. I mean, don't get me wrong, it can get a little hairy in there, but most of the time it's just, I don't know, peaceful.
So why did you bring it up?
Well, how would you like to go there?
What? Is that even possible?
I don't know. Probably. I mean, I learned how to do it, and you, I bet you'd pick it up just fine.
Don't you have to be a fire user? And didn't you say something about sitting inside a volcano?
I think that's just how they fight it. The volcano is their spiritual center. Maybe that's why it was so tough for me the first time. I don't have the same connection to the volcano they do.
So what would my center be?
Think about it. What's the most important place in the world to you?
Stormholt.
Why is Lycos an option?
This place. It's my home. My heart. My soul.
Exactly. Everything the volcano represents for the fire users, that's what this castle is for you. It would take some time, but I think I can teach you to enter the spirit world through your connection to Stormholt. It won't bring Leon back, but it might give you a chance to say goodbye. There may be other spirits there too. So, what do you say?
Oh, teach me. Yeah, you got me. You got me good. Great. We can start tomorrow. Can't wait. Thank you, Dom. Dom pulls you into a hug. Then you turn and look out over the wall and let out a long, happy sigh as you watch the sun set over the fields of Stormholt. One year later. It's a cool, peaceful morning in Stormholt as you step through the main gates. Jackson trails a step behind.
Are you sure you wish me to accompany you, Your Majesty? I could be helping with the festivities.
What's this? Stormholt's crown guardian is offering to leave his queen unattended.
Come on, a baby could wander the length of Stormholt without getting so much as a stubbed toe. You've seen to that.
Well, I'm glad you're with me anyway. The two of you continue down the grassy slope. As you reach the royal burial ground, you see someone already standing over the newest of the graves. Dom, I didn't know you were back from the mountains already. Dom grins, pulling you into a one-armed hug.
What, did you think I'd miss the Queen's wedding anniversary? I hear it's gonna be the best party of the year. Besides, I wanted to come pay my respects.
You kneel down, brushing a few stray leaves from the engraved stone plaque at your feet. Here lies Leon Sterling, trusted advisor, fearless champion, loyal friend.
Decent of that new empress to return his body.
Yes, I have high hopes for Leah. So far, she's proving to be a much kinder ruler than her mother. You hear soft footsteps on the grass behind you. Turning, you smile as Raiden moves to stand beside you. He rests one hand on your shoulder, squeezing gently.
I thought I might find you here.
I'm glad you found me. You place your hand over his, squeezing back. You close your eyes for a moment, breathing in the scent of fresh grass. I can't believe it's already been a year since we defeated Azura.
Tell me about it. I feel like I only just recovered from last Victory Day's hangover. Well, you'd better get ready, friend. Val has a barrel of Skullcracker Ale with your name on it. Literally, she wrote Jackson's drinking this whole barrel on it in big red letters. Gods preserve me.
Smiling, you lay your palm against Leon's headstone, warming the stone with your hand. I'm glad to have you back, old friend. There's so much I want to say to you. Your voice catches in your throat. You bow your head, tears welling in your eyes.
I think it's time, Kenna. It's time for you to step into the spirit world.
But what if I can't? What if he's not?
Kenna, we've been training for a year. And you're a way better student than I ever was. You can do this. I know it.
You hesitate, then nod. You close your eyes, focusing your breathing. You feel the ancient stones beneath you, hear the whisper of trees and the song of a nearby brook. The winds of Stormholt seem to blow through you, and you feel yourself being swept away. You come to rest on a twinkling path among ethereal blue clouds. It's just like Dom said. Hello? Is anyone there? Your voice seems tiny as it echoes in this vast expanse. At first, you're met only with silence. Then... Kenna? That voice! You turn, not daring to believe, and see a broad-shouldered man in shining armor striding toward you on the path.
Well, are you just going to stand there gawking, or are you...
You plow into Leon, nearly knocking him down with the force of your hug.
Ugh.
You're here. You're really here. Leon, there's so much to tell you. We rescued Dom. We defeated Azura.
Slow down. I want to hear everything. Especially the part about you thrashing that white-haired witch.
You tell Leon everything as you walk among the stars. Clouds swirling around your ankles as you continue into the strange blue night.
Hells, I wish I could have seen that battle. But it sounds like you got along fine without me.
I wish you'd been there too. I wish...
You trail off, and Leon gives you a rough pat on the shoulder. Don't you cry now, or I'll start blubbering too.
Can't have that.
At least not in front of those two. I'll never hear the end of it.
Those two? What are you talking about? Smiling, Leon gestures to the path ahead, where two figures emerge from the swirling mist.
My queen.
Hello, little butterfly. Gabriel! Mother! You rush forward into their embrace, happy tears flowing down your cheeks.
It's so good to see you again, Kenna. Are you well?
Better, now that you're here. Gabriel, I'm trying to rule as you taught me. It's hard sometimes, but whenever I'm struggling, I just ask myself, what would Gabriel say?
You honor me, my queen.
Gabriel clasps your shoulder, his eyes twinkling with unshed tears.
For you've already grown beyond my wildest hopes. I am so proud of you, Kenna.
You smile, pulling back from the hug. You turn to your mother. Mother. I don't know. Are you happy? This place is so strange. Is it nice? Do you like it here?
It is an odd place, to be sure, but it is peaceful, and at least I am in good company.
Leon steps forward, smiling as he clasps your mother's hand in his. I wish you could see Stormholt, Mother. I wish you could see your dream of peace come true at last.
Adriana clasps your hands, her smile radiant. Even if I'm not there to see, it's enough knowing that the Five Kingdoms are finally at peace, and that Stormhold has such a worthy queen. Kenna, I'm so glad to see the woman you've become. You're more than I could ever have wished for.
Gabriel reaches up to squeeze your shoulder.
I know you will lead them well, my queen. We'll be here if you need us.
Thank you, all of you. As you're pulled into another tight embrace, you feel yourself lifted on a cool, familiar wind. You find yourself back at Leon's gravestone. Beyond it are the graves of your mother and Gabriel. You feel warmth in your chest and know those you've lost will never be far away.
Good talk?
Yeah. Good talk. As you wade through the long grass, you notice Dom glancing around, an amused expression on his face. What are you grinning about?
I just realized this is where we used to spar. Remember that?
I remember kicking your rear.
Oh no. Yes. You're crazy. I beat you 100 times.
And for every one time you beat me, I beat you 3.
Wow, I think Queen Kenna Reese is starting to get senile in her old age. You and I have a very different recollection of events.
You know there is a way to settle this.
Careful now, Your Majesty.
Or what?
Or I might just have to give you a history lesson.
Nearby, Jackson rolls his eyes.
Here we go again. Dear, do go easy on the poor boy. He's not terribly bright.
You and Dom square off on the hillside. Well, show me what you've got. Or are you too worried I'll bruise that pretty face of yours?
Oh, so my face is pretty now.
Typical. You only hear what you want to hear. Get ready for a beating. Dom raises his weapon and strikes. Your sticks clack together, playfully at first, as your feet circle in the grass. Is that all you've got?
I could breathe fire on you if you prefer.
Is that what it takes for you to beat me? Dom lunges. You catch his blow and find yourself with weapons locked, faces an inch apart. I should tease him. Wake me up when you're finished.
You're kidding me.
Dom releases his attack and steps back, panting for breath. Is that all the stronger you've gotten? Maybe you should go ahead and transform.
No, I'm done.
What?
I'm done. I give up. You win.
Wow, humility? You have changed. But as you lower your weapon, Dom strikes.
No, I haven't.
You rat! Haha! As your weapons clack together once more, a cool wind rises over the long green grass. And I think that might be the end. Yeah, there it is, the end. Oh, lies. Meanwhile, down in the kitchens. Hello? Maker of food? I smell bacon. Is there bacon and may I have some? I've been a very good... You are not bacon! Leonidas puts his paws up on the table, sniffing Bubbles' jar. What are you? Are you food? Then why are you in the food house? I see. Well then, do you know where the bacon is? Bubbles lifts a tentacle and points. Aha! Leonidas bounds up on the table, seizing a thick slab of bacon and shaking it savagely from side to side. Grrr. Of course, I was just making sure it was dead. Leonidas rips off a piece of bacon, dropping it into Bubbles' jar. You are welcome, small squishy friend. You are a strange dog, but I like you. Leonidas settles down beside Bubbles, and both tear happily into their dinner. That was cute. Okay, so now it's the end. Congratulations. At long last, after all your glorious battles and harrowing trials, you've brought peace to the 5 kingdoms. We are honored to have shared this wild, wonderful adventure with you. We hope that you had as much fun as we did. From the bottom of our hearts, thank you for playing The Crown and the Flame. And thank you for coming along with me. This has been... I want to say maybe this is the longest Let's Play I've done. It surely feels like the longest. And I think it might also be the longest span of time because I started it a while back. And so much has changed since then. I'm really grateful to those of you who stuck with me, to those of you who enjoyed this, to those of you who maybe didn't enjoy it but stuck with me anyway and didn't unsubscribe. I'm really glad you're here with me. So glad, actually. I will see you in the next Let's Play, which I guess will be a whole different a whole different game. I don't even know what game it'll be, so we'll find out together, I guess. Thank you, and I hope you're all having just really wonderful lives out there, and take care of yourself. I will see you in the next video. My name is Anna Murdahl, and this has been The Crown and the Flame. Bye-bye.